Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final review for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead, because this is now for the season finale, Season 6, Episode 16. It is called The Beginning. Alright, and possible spoiler warning, if you have not seen this episode yet, you'll definitely want to watch it before you watch this review. It should be on tonight, guys, if you don't have AMC+. If you do, probably already seen it at this point. And I think this one was actually leaked pretty early on this week, but sorry for not getting the review done early this time, guys. My schedule was kind of jam-packed. I wasn't able to watch the episode, and I wanted to watch it to where, I was going to have time to enjoy it, and I didn't have to, rush or anything, and I could actually kind of go through the episode really, have time to see it all the way through and really gather my thoughts. And so I've had time to do that now. I think it's an amazing episode. So this makes Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead probably the best season of Fear the Walking Dead I think they've ever done. Up until now, I've been questioning, is Season 3 better because it had kind of the epic stuff at the end with the dam, and it was an awesome Season 2. But I think after seeing this finale episode, I'd have to say that, I think Season 6 of Fear has taken it. I do think it's the best season that Fear the Walking Dead has ever had. So we finished things off in this episode with somewhat of it's an ensemble episode, but the intro sequence shows Teddy in a pretty cool fashion. You've got him there, and you've got kind of the missile as it's going off with the warheads, and it is pretty exciting, man. I've been comparing it a little bit to Z Nation. They had some episodes they did where there was like a nuke that was shot off, and then it went off, and people were in different locations, and some were in cars, and the cars got like blown over and stuff. One was in like I think it was some kind of heavy duty Jeep or something, and it went into like an underpass type of tunnel, and that's kind of where they sort of survived out the blast of a nuke going off nearby. So in this episode of Fear, we get to see something similar, totally new for Walking Dead, definitely something that we have not seen anything like before. As the episode plays through, focused on almost the whole ensemble, just missing basically Alicia, who's in the other bunker, where we do get mention of in this episode, but they don't end up going there, as you have Raleigh, I think his name's Riley or Raleigh, who mentions possibly going there for them to kind of, weather out what's about to happen, but they don't end up doing that. The group that's with him, with Daniel and Luciana and Charlie and the others, they end up, Sarah, they end up going to a spot with some coordinates, so they end up getting picked up by the CRM and Althea, who kind of leads them towards there. So let's go from the episode from the beginning, because there's a lot of things that happen. We got the beginning, we get the intro with the lady who had the baby with the guy that was at the location that Morgan and the others set up this season. Goes back to the premiere episode of the season, where he gets kind of hunted by the bounty hunter, and he adopts Rufus the dog after defeating him, Morgan this is. And so he meets the lady and her husband, and she has a baby, and the husband ends up being killed. But now in this episode here, we see in the intro that she has had a flat tire, and she finds out that this missile has been going off. She kind of panics, and she accidentally gets her foot she doesn't know what she's doing, gets her foot kind of caught underneath the car, and it's a pretty brutal intro, actually. Breaks her leg, and then kind of has to sort of take the baby and kind of walk off, but she isn't able to get very far, and then she has the idea basically to use Rufus to tie a rope to her, and then she commits, what's that called when samurais do the the deal, and then so she kind of as a zombie walks through with the radio on, with Rufus leading the baby to Morgan and Grace later on, which is kind of a morbid and dark sort of a sequence to watch through at the beginning, but it kind of has a pretty good payoff at the end, in that Morgan and Grace do find the baby and are able to kind of weather at least the first blast, because it seems like maybe there's some more happening after that. with the first kind of blow up of the first nuke kind of going off, and from where they are near the submarine there, and luckily it doesn't quite reach them, so they're able to kind of get the baby later on and kind of save it, and then put down the lady who had it, whose leg was broken and everything of the sort. So it is a bit of a brutal kind of sequence to see sort of play through at the beginning, but like I said, it's got a good payoff. We get into the intro with Teddy, which I smiled when I saw it. I thought it was awesome. I really like the stylized intros they've been doing every episode. I think they're great, and I don't think you could do any better than that. It's very cool because you show like one character that's a spotlight for the episode that drives home who's kind of going to be sort of focused on or who's going to be a standout maybe, and gives sort of each episode a character anchor for it, because you do have a lot of characters in Fear now. So we get the Teddy intro, him and Sue, which is funny. It's Dakota, right? Which we get some good stuff with them. We get to it afterwards. We got Daniel, who with Raleigh, the SWAT vehicle kind of gets has some trouble. She's got to fix it. We got the rabbi there, and Phoenix will rise from the ashes. Phoenix is another nickname or way to refer to Lucy as well. If you guys didn't know, so rising from the ashes, build back better, all that stuff, right? So, Riley, and it's kind of cool the way this is sort of like a commentary, at least in my mind, as to what's been going on in real life sort of in the last year in Fear the Walking Dead, with all this build back better kind of stuff, and order out of chaos, that kind of order ab chaos, that kind of whole principle of updating the world, smashing it to build back better, organized chaos. So we have Riley, we have Dwight and Sherry. So I love what they did with Dwight and Sherry in this episode, because they kind of go off together, and it's good to get to see them actually just be together for a little while, and for Sherry to kind of start to let the past go, and them just kind of want to survive. So they find kind of a shack with a couple that's there, and the couple has kind of been forced to give up their, maybe they have like a under section. I'm not going to say it's a bunker, but it's like a cellar, underground type of thing. So it's a pretty cool scene where Dwight and Sherry kind of go there, sort of pull the doors off with the horse and a rope, and then out come a couple of the members of the holding, and Dwight and Sherry kind of utilizing their savior skills of old, which is awesome to see again, take care of them pretty easily just by having locationing and just by waiting in the right spot and then pulling the trigger quickly without hesitation. So you get to see a little bit of Savior Dwight, Savior Sherry kind of come back in those old tactics that they used to use without hesitation and take out this group fairly easily, and then kind of get to be the heroes, good guy Dwight, good guy Sherry, and kind of bring the family with them kind of underneath into this cellar, and then kind of rejam the doors. I take it. Where did the horse go? I don't think they brought the horse down with them, did they? So kind of, and it's cool to see later when the nuke goes off, because the doors are like barely holding together, and they're bracing for cover. It's pretty exciting. Yeah. And I really like Teddy a lot as a villain. Spoiler warning, I'm kind of sad that he does get killed off in this episode. So does Dakota. But it makes sense. I don't know how long you're going to have them in the series for. And this is a pretty epic go out for any villain that you could expect to see in The Walking Dead. He gets killed basically setting off a nuke. And Dakota's the one who does it. And then Dakota gets absolutely roasted in what is a pretty cool kind of... maybe like CG graphic type of scene. Again, something totally different, but a little bit video game, but it was really cool to see the whole scene play through. So you have Teddy and Sue, Teddy and Dakota, I love he calls her that, and they kind of go off, and he's got the radio on. I think he hears Morgan, and he calls him an idiot, which is really funny. I just find Teddy to be very funny for some reason. He just makes me laugh a lot. It cracks me up. So you have nothing to worry about, and basically you have them. They go to the spot we see in the sneak peek where they're kind of watching to see the nuke come down, and the organized chaos come down and clear, so they can redo after. And it's a really cool reveal, which I like a lot in this episode, to where John Dory Sr. and June find Teddy and find Dakota, and end up holding them up at gunpoint. But Dakota raises her gun too, and it's revealed pretty quickly that Teddy brought her to that spot, but there's actually a bunker underneath it. So there's actually a spot underneath it where most likely he's going to go. Now, whether or not he was going to bring her with him, it sounds like it's his MO from what Senior had said, that most likely it's not the case. Most likely he would maybe use her, or maybe he'd bring her with him if he wants to. But I just love the fact that even though he said all these things and led his group, the Holding, to this level of craziness, he is not going. He's such a narcissistic psychopath that there's no way he'll put anybody else up to be obliterated. But he himself, even though he acts the act all the way through right up until the end, he's such a narcissistic psychopath that even though he's going to do it for everybody else, he himself has sorted a place for him to go so he can survive out the blast, and that's why they go there. So I absolutely love that. It was an awesome twist in the episode, kind of a mini twist, but it fit in so perfectly with his personality, because you know that narcissistic psychopaths like that, as charismatic as they can be, as easily as they can trick you, they can fool you, they can talk you into anything, they will not put themselves in harm's way like that. Even if they lead everybody else, all the other, again, lambs to slaughter. Again, a lot of cool stuff in this episode that relates back to what we're seeing in real life last year or two. So he will not put himself into harm's way. And I have some parallels in real life, but I'll keep them to myself for now for this review. So it's great stuff. So they end up stopping him, and you have Dakota, who gets in the standoff with June and with John Dorie Sr., and they end up kind of having a few shots. John Dorie ends up getting sort of hit with a kind of a trick. He pulls and he puts a shot off. She shoots him, but he kind of goes off, and so he takes a hit, but it's not a fatal hit. And then June is able to stop Dakota there for a minute, and they're able to go in the bunker as the missile's coming down. And then you have Dakota, who ends up losing it on Teddy, because she finds out that he is basically fraudulent. What would he have done with her? Hard to tell. Maybe he would have actually kept her for himself. I mean, if you're going to build back better, if you're going to repopulate, that's sick because of her age and stuff. But it's he's a sick kind of guy, so it makes sense. Also interesting that he locks Alicia in the other side too, and then he's planning on surviving himself there, with the understanding that everybody else would be killed off. So anyway, it's good stuff. I like it, and it's a great scene to see Dakota just put him down. As sick and twisted as she is and everything, it's great to see. And then she cannot be redeemed. You do kind of feel sorry for her, but not so much because of what she did before when the nuke goes off, and she's basically, is that called atomized, or she's nuked, basically. Nuked from orbit. So really good stuff. The stuff with Morgan and Grace is good. The stuff with Strand. So the stuff with Strand and Howard is, okay, so he runs into this guy in this building, and he ends up, it seems, surviving out the blast, it looks like. I like that at a part he tells kind of Howard, we get the idea that he tells him the backstory about what's happened with the missile and everything, and he tells him that he's the good guy. He tells him that he's Morgan, and that he's Morgan Jones. And I did like that. It kind of spoke to sort of the way villains a lot of times will either change identities or will assume the identity of someone else, or tell someone they're someone they're not, because they feel so much guilt inside that they kind of almost go to play a character. So he does that, and then afterwards it is kind of... he reveals to Howard that actually he's not the good guy. He's the other one. He's the bad guy. But he sees a lot of potential in where they're at right there. It's a good spot. We got the part with Wes where he writes down on the zombie for Raleigh, I think is his name, or Riley, whichever one of the two. There's the two of them there. Their names are similar. They both get killed off because Dan finds out that the one was an inside man and not loyal to them. And so Wes writes down on his back and everything. And then they kind of go off because Al called in the helicopter for them. They kind of get out of there, and it's a pretty exciting ending with kind of the survival horror aspect. Awesome. Nuke going off. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody's trying to survive. Very exciting. And not so much of a cliffhanger for the next year that I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be more of a cliffhanger than it is. And I'm not sure if there's additional. It seemed like from Grace and Morgan's point that there was going to be additional offs, so additional warheads going off. Maybe not all the warheads had gone off yet. So we'll see next season if everybody does in fact survive. But it looks like most likely the ones that we got to see will. Maybe 1 or 2 more deaths out of the rest that happens wouldn't be too surprising. But yeah, it seems like they're all going to basically survive except for Teddy and Dakota, it looks like. And maybe 1 or 2 more that we'll see next season. But it's not like a brutal cliffhanger like the season 6 finale for the original Walking Dead was with the lineup and everything. It's an amazing season. I love the episode. Very exciting, very fun, and I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I thought it was incredible for Fear. I think this season is an incredible season for Fear. So much fun. So much great things happening for everybody. And like I said, the only thing about this episode is we don't get to see Alicia. It would have been cool at the end if you could have kind of zoomed out and saw her kind of looking at the thing as the explosion was going off, just to kind of finish it off as an ensemble type episode. But it's not absolutely necessary. It was also cool to see Lucy had some parts of this one too, which, because I was thinking, she doesn't always get a lot of time in the episodes, but it is good that she's still there because it goes back to season 2. She's the only survivor from the season 2 arc with Nick and what they were doing down there in Mexico and everything. And so it's cool to see her still in the series at this point. So incredible episode, a lot of fun. The nuke was super cool. Love the stuff with Teddy. Love the stuff with Dakota. She was a great villain in the series, kind of a tragic sort of up-and-coming villain. And Teddy's an awesome villain. Definitely memorable. Maybe the best villain we've had so far for Fear. So that's it for my review, guys. We can discuss more in the maybe live stream tonight if we do one. We'll see. And if you like the video, don't forget to thumb it up below, share, favorite, and if you want to see more Walking Dead videos, subscribe at the bottom left so you don't miss out. I'm going to be reviewing all the episodes of Walking Dead to finish off, and Fear for at least another year or 2. It sounds like it's got season 7, and they haven't been informed yet if that's going to be the last season or season 8. It sounds like it probably will get a season 8, and then we'll see after that. But if they keep doing episodes like this, man, I'd be happy to see it continue on for years and years, because I'll watch it. Even if Walking Dead's not on, if the episodes are this good, I'll still watch it and still review it with you guys. If they can keep doing stuff like this, it's amazing. Anyway, let me know what you thought. Leave those comments below, and I'll see you again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.